Hello and welcome to the Dominion Daily for May 19th, 2026. We've got an All Empires Kingdom today, and we've got no trashing. Well, I guess that does have some synergy with Fountain. Also seems pretty annoying in general. Hmm. Okay, we've got draw from Wild Hunt. And then there's potential for a little bit of draw from Patrician as well as Settlers Bustling Village. Although, other than the Legionary attack, I don't see a way to get Hoppers or Settlers into the discard pile. So that limits what Settlers and Bustling Village can accomplish. Yeah. For plus actions, we've got Villa, Crown, and Bustling Village. For gains, we've got Villa plus buy, Charm plus buy, or the gain a card mode. Fortune plus buy. Wild Hunt can gain estates. Okay. So, I think, even though there's no thinning, I think we will want to build here for a couple reasons. One is the Wild Hunt points, one is the Legionary attack. The Legionary attack means it's going to be very difficult to have anything like a consistent deck that's capable of drawing itself every turn, even though in practice, even if it's capable of doing so in theory. But it also means that the incentive to like do as much as you can to set yourself up to be able to do that is very high. So yeah, I think really the goal is to kind of get that online as fast as possible. We do also have to be a little bit careful about Wolf Den. That's a reason not to touch Gladiator. Not that, I mean, you often don't need much of a reason not to touch Gladiator, but like you're not going to want two Gladiators in your deck. Like you don't want one, but you also don't want two. Um, It does also mean that in theory we want two legionaries and two golds. That might not be worth it. I guess we'll see. That could be something to add very late in the game as well. Um, but like it's definitely going to be worth taking a legionary and gold despite the wolf den thing. But yeah, it's something to keep in mind. Also, maybe need to be a little bit careful about settlers, patrician, bustling village, and emporium. Any of those you could potentially be easy um, to end up um, with only one of those just because the piles are smaller. So how do we want to open? We're probably going to want an overlord. Um, I think we would like to avoid silver, and I don't think we particularly need silver. I guess the question is, do we want to just open Overlord, or do we want to open with a Patrician, a Settlers, or a Chariot race in conjunction with the Overlord? I guess Overlord playing Gladiator is a way that Fortune could get opened up um, without ever touching Gladiator, what that's worth. In fact, I mean, that might be pretty relevant because, well, I guess there's not much reason to play Gladiator over Legionary as Overlord, or with Overlord, rather. Anyway, yeah, so obviously having the extra debt on the Overlord going into the shuffle isn't great. Patrician doesn't do anything. Settlers potentially does. Chariot race. Oh, we don't need to put a legionary into the deck. We can play Overlord as legionary. Yeah, okay. So we only need the gold. That's good. Um, hmm. Anyway, yeah, Patrician doesn't do anything. Chariot race most likely doesn't do anything. Settlers potentially does. but I don't think it's worth the debt. I think we just get an overlord. Um, yeah. Seems that the bot agrees. Okay, so now the question is, do we draw cards with Wild Hunt, or do we take coins with Legionary? Um, I mean, we're going to need to get through those cards either way. We're probably just buying another Overlord here. I think we draw. Hmm, sad. And now, obviously, we don't draw because we have another Overlord on top. We also are one coin short of getting that gold, unfortunately. Yeah, I think you just got to be Legionary. I can't think of anything else clever to do. Um, so we have 5, which could certainly be not an Overlord. um, we could consider getting a Charm. We're gonna probably want Charm in the deck at some point. We could just take a Wild Hunt. Um, could take a Crown. Hmm. I guess we probably don't really need plus buy in the short term. It might just be Wild Hunt. We want plus buy, we can also potentially add Villa. It's not as efficient as Charm, but it is plus actions, so I think I'll take the Wild Hunt. Oh, okay. Um, do we just go Villa Wild Hunt? We could also go Crown Wild Hunt. So we draw 6 cards. Absolute worst case scenario, we see 3 estates, Overlord, 2 coppers, and we hit 5. And any other scenario, we have the potential to get that gold. We go Villa Wild Hunt, we already have 4 coins, but obviously we could draw 2 estates. Hmm. I think I will go Villa Wild Hunt. I mean, I guess the other thing we could do is buy a villa. Uh, let's see. If we draw the Overlord and we buy a villa, buying a villa and then playing Overlord as Legionary leaves us with the same amount of coins as if we had done neither of those things. So, like, there's actually not much downside to that. Hmm. Yeah, okay. And I think I like drawing the extra cards. Okay, so now we can just get the gold directly and skip picking up the villa. Uh, if we do the villa Overlord thing, then we have a villa in our deck. Is that good? Not obviously. It's not obviously bad either. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, oh, never mind. It's like, what if I played Overlord as Charm? No, that doesn't work. um, yeah, I'm not sure whether we want the villa or not, honestly. It is a stop card. Just anticipating that we're going to have to get one anyway, but I'd rather just take the gold for now. Ugh. All right. Patrician or settlers or overlord. Hmm. Maybe it is just overlord. The problem with buying overlord right now is that it does mean that we can't afford villa if we end up wanting a villa. So yeah, probably not. In the long run, I think patrician should be better. We are going to end up with a lot of fives in our deck, hopefully. Okay, so we can do the crown wild hunt thing and know that we get to draw an overlord and a gold. Or, well, and we have to buy a villa. Or we can just play a villa, draw with wild hunt and take the 50 50 that we don't bottom deck either the overlord or the gold. Uh, or we can play just the wild hunt and then use overlord as like settlers or chariot race. In fact, we could just do that now. Not actually sure which one would be better. Well, settlers is more reliable. If chariot race reveals overlord, it cannot win. Hmm. I don't think the wild hunt points are enough right now to be worth taking. Like that would be another option is crown the wild hunt and use one of the plays to take points, but I don't think that's worth it at the moment. Anyway, I think I like play settlers. Okay. All right. This could be an opportunity to just go ahead and add another overlord. We could also add another villa. Even go like Villa Gold. A lot of stop cards though. I think I'm just going to take the Overlord. Okay. This should probably just be Wild Hunt. Go from there. Oh, Maybe this is a good time to take another patrician. Or we could start on chariot races. Not that chariot races are like amazing or anything. Yeah. Okay. Overlord as Brown. Play Overlord as Wild Hunt. Legionary. Uh, this might be where we should take the Wild Hunt points. It's not really probably a shuffle we want to trigger anyway. It is a lot of points. All right, do we get a second gold? We've got the money. I think so. The chariot race. This is probably, well, it could just be legionary. Is this 8? Yeah, sure. All right. We want another wild hunt anyway, so I think I'll just take that. And I guess another chariot race. It could be a patrician, but I'm sure we'll have another opportunity to buy that when we have a little less money for whatever reason. That's a weirdly good turn for having gotten legionary attacked. Wild hunt points are getting high again. I think I do want to draw here because shit. Get the villa without. What's up with this shuffle? Yes, I'm. Hmm. Hmm. They just take the points here and a couple patricians. Like, if we trigger the shuffle, I mean, how bad is it if the bot takes the points? I don't know. There's a lot of points. I'm gonna take it. How is the bot drawing this well in the face of the chariot race attack? This is crazy. This is actually crazy. What the fuck? What is happening? I am. What the fuck? What was their starting hand? Crown Overlord Wild Hunt? Like, that's so lucky. What the fuck? Ah, damn it. Now the problem is the bot's gonna try to empty the wild hunts, and then the overlords aren't gonna be able to play that anymore. Ugh. Maybe we should just play into that. Get our wild hunts while we can. Double wild hunt, double patrician. Yeah, they got the points. It was like that. Odd is just not missing here. It's really annoying. Ay ay ay. This is does have a patrician. Hmm. Oh, we can't afford fortune anyway. We Brown Christian? Guess so. I don't need better ideas. That accomplished a lot. Man. Ugh. Like, how the box turns so much better. This is so frustrating. Okay, well, buying provinces actually doesn't scare me too much. What does scare me is that if I play this Wild Hunt for cards, I might end up giving the bot a bunch of Wild Hunt points again. The alternative is even the alternative. I don't know. It's now I see all three villas. Like, why? Now we can't play Wild Hunt anymore. It's just so obnoxious. Nor patrician. Do we chariot race for an estate? I mean, the bot might have a copper on top. Oh my god. Not like we're gonna get anything good anyway. I don't know. I am very. I mean, I guess part of the problem is the bot has more actual wild hunts in its deck, and like, but I don't understand how it got into the position in the first place. Like, I was getting the legionary attack off pretty consistently, and it just had amazing turns despite that. It's extremely confusing. Okay. We're gonna have to buy another villa. I guess technically we don't have to, but miles are pretty low. If we can get like wild hunt points, fountain points, it'd be pretty good. Oh, great. Uh, we don't have enough gains right now, fortunately. There's a lot of villas in this deck that can get us plus buy, but like what would be nice is to just crown Wild Hunt to take the estates, and then, but we just don't have the gains, unfortunately. Also, okay, we do have another Overlord down here that we can play as Legionary. We have one more Wild Hunt in those 14 cards. Ugh. We take the risk. I mean, we have 4 coppers left in our deck. We have a couple estates. So 6 those cards. We have, I think I'm going to draw on. There we go. Okay, we found another Overlord. That's fantastic. 5 buys. Villa is free. Easiest pile to empty gains-wise is Emporium. The 14, so we'll get 15 points, 38. Emporiums would get us to 42. We have 4, 6, 7, 13 coins. 5 buys, still 5 buys. Yeah, I think if we crown, but the Emporium points, I guess, don't really even matter. But I think if we crown the Wild Hunt for draw and then taking the estate, or do we even need the estate? Fountain is 15 points. That's it's us to 38. And the 2 Emporiums. Okay, so yeah, we do need the points. What else is down here? 1 copper, 2 estates, and 2 other cards. We didn't. Oh, wait, I have all the patricians? How is that possible? I thought I left a patrician on top and then the bot took emporiums. I didn't think, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Um, well, regardless, 3 chariot races. I wouldn't be shocked if there's more chariot races down there. Got the gold. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4 villas. There might be another villa down there as well. So, I mean, there's not much of value. Okay, so we need 3 coppers. As if I should just crown the villa. Um, am I getting much more value than that? Um, so Fountain will definitely get us the points. We need 13 coins, which is exactly what we have already to buy Villa and then 2 Emporiums. And then we have 5 buys. We have 5 buys, 4, 3 buys. Yeah, so it doesn't actually matter. We don't need to crown the Villa because we already have enough buys. So we have the win. It's just a question of whether it's like better to draw the cards or not. I don't really know. Um, I guess I'm going to crown the village just in case I miscounted something. And I did not. Yeah. Oh, it was 2 chariot races. So yeah, drawing that wouldn't have done me any good anyway. Um, what I should have done in theory is either crowned the Wild Hunt to get an extra estate or played Overlord as, I don't know, Legionary to get some extra money. I would have had 2 extra money, so I could have gotten an estate that way and also would have gotten an attack in. That was a really frustrating game for me to then end up winning. Like, um, I mean, the bot did end up getting more 5s into its deck. Maybe this all just comes down to that first turn where it got 2 charms into play and got like 3 5s. I don't like it did that in the face of the legionary attack, which is crazy. Look back. There was a way to just jump to the top rather than having to scroll all the way through the whole thing. But uh or failing that like a scroll bar. Please. Okay. So pretty similar early. Get a wild hunt, it gets a chariot race, it gets a charm. It's like the early charm doesn't seem very good to me because your ability to hit 5 while not having the charm give you any money, like I just would not expect that to work. Managed to collide its overlords, which I like didn't do for free. I did that like once all game. Colliding the overlords, like okay, cool. And it did it again. So was the bot just drawing better than I was? I guess so. I did do it here, but I mean, it did take, like, I guess you could also say I did take estates or and this estate before, like, either of our decks had really come together. But I find it hard to believe that that's the wrong move. So this is the turn where again they got to collide overlords. The bot only had 2 overlords, and it collided them 3 different times by turn 11 in a deck with no trashing, no top decking, no sifting, no nothing. Like, so, and it managed to draw, like, what even was its hand? Like, okay, I had not, in fact, just attacked it on this turn, actually. Copper, charm, 2 overlords in an estate, and then it drew 3 copper, 5 coppers, and a charm. So it only saw 1 estate. It could have seen 2 estates and still hit 5 with the 2 charms. But like again, this is really unlikely. Like it didn't draw any chariot races dead or settlers dead, of which it had a bunch. It didn't have to buy a villa. And then yeah, I feel like the bot just got really fortunate here to be able to pull that off. Like in theory, I would have liked to do a similar thing with charm, but to me, it always seemed like I'm not drawing my deck well enough to go in for that payload. And the bot, obviously, in general, wasn't either, except it kept colliding Overlord and getting to do Overlord crowning Overlord as like double Wild Hunt without then needing to buy a villa afterwards because it didn't draw stuff dead. And that, I don't know. I just, that's pretty. Oh, I had 5 chariot races. Sure didn't feel like it. Okay. Um, so I guess it didn't have that many chariot races. It had at least 2 settlers, and I think it already had the 2 chariot races. But does it show? It doesn't show how many chariot races were won by each side. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I would just be curious. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm kind of a little torn between concluding that like, oh, it's maybe you are supposed to like kind of play for the upside here and go for that, and saying, nah, like there's no way that you can expect to line up your overlords that often, and like it's better to take the line that I did. I think is like I do think that ultimately the reason I won this game is because the bot started taking provinces, which I don't think um like provinces aren't actually that good here. There's a lot of alt VP. The wild hunt points get bigger. The fountain points are bigger. Um, Not to say that you would never take provinces, but I don't think it makes sense. Like, I think you basically keep building forever here. And you take provinces maybe right at the end, like when on the turn where you're ending the game. But I don't think you take them before that. The reason you take the wild hunt points before that is because there's like if you don't take them, your opponent will. But provinces, I just don't think like the bot got 18 points from provinces, and that's not bad, but it's not much more than fountain. Um, Province is obviously the worst card in your deck. Um, like I would have expected. I don't know when the bot opened up fortune. I would have expected it to take a fortune. Um, maybe that was only on like the last turn or something that it opened that up, and so it wouldn't have made a huge difference. Really sure. The bot actually did have 3 gladiators in its deck. Okay. Um, why are you buying a villa there? Like, surely it doesn't make sense to lower piles. I guess if I had done it, maybe it would have. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess I was also fortunate to have as good of a turn as I was that last turn. finally line some stuff up. All right. Well, whatever. I guess to really have a better idea, I'd probably need to replay this kingdom several times. But there's too much variance to be confident more quickly, and I don't want to do that. So I guess I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.